Hi there, my name is Poonam and I'm an Indian Australian wedding and event planner. And on this channel, I teach you how to create and design a breathtakingly beautiful wedding. First and foremost, I need to address why I've been away for so long. The truth of the matter is, and it's pretty simple, I've just gotten really busy since becoming a full-time wedding planner. But honestly, I have no regrets and I'm excited to be back on this channel and share with all the knowledge that I have gained since becoming a wedding planner. So let's roll on into it. Firstly, a wedding planner isn't for everyone. There are brides and grooms out there though who love the process of planning their own wedding. So if that's you, then this is the right video to watch. Now, I've spoken a lot about how to plan a wedding over the years. Everyone goes about it in their own unique way. Of course, in this video though, I'm going to teach you how to keep it super simple and not so complicated. And this is all without the help of a wedding planner. Number one is giving yourself enough time. Number two is creating a guest list. Number three is setting a budget. Number four, choosing a venue. Number five, choosing your wedding party. Number six, choosing your wedding vendors. Number seven, planning your ceremony and reception. Number eight, planning any pre-wedding events. Number nine, sending your wedding invitations and collecting RSVPs. And number 10, creating a timeline. Before you start planning a wedding, it's really important to give yourself enough time. The past few years have been pretty crazy and have disrupted everyone's timelines. And because of that, there is a lot of demand for wedding vendors and wedding venues. My advice is to plan 12 months out from your potential wedding date. Start by making a list of all the things you need to do, like literally just do a brain dump on a piece of paper. Then it's easy to break them down step by step. This will help you stay organized and on track. It also allows you to breathe easy and avoid the last minute stress. Number two is creating a guest list. I've mentioned in the past that more people equals more money. Don't fall into the trap of making up your guest lists and making up your numbers as you go. If it means sitting down with your families or your parents, do it. It's going to help you figure out how much you could potentially be spending per head. Rule of thumb, in Australia, you could be looking at spending anywhere from $65 on the lower end of the spectrum and $250 per head on the higher end per person at an event, and that's just for one event. So you can use this as a guide when you are planning your budget. Speaking of which, the next point is setting a budget. Setting a budget can be a huge struggle for multicultural couples. You need to think about what you want and what you can afford. One of the things I see most of my couples struggle when setting a budget is they don't necessarily have an understanding of what things cost. And then that leads them to underestimating the cost of certain services. My hot tip is to reach out to at least 3 to 5 vendors. Try to stick to 3 if you can in that particular category. So say 3 photographers, and weigh up their services side by side. You may reach out to a photographer who's got 20 years of experience. You may reach out to a photographer who's got only 2 years of experience. Obviously, the pricing is going to be significantly different to each other. There's several factors to consider. Different businesses charge differently. That's just the fact of the matter. Their overheads might be a little bit more. Someone who's got 20 years of experience, perhaps they've got like 10 staff working with them. So yeah, their overheads are obviously going to be a lot more. So ask for their services booklets, match up side by side, okay, who's pros and cons of each vendor. And then it's going to make it really easy for you to figure out how much to budget and for the photographer that you want. If there were 5 things that I would prioritize for my wedding, that is, if I was getting married again, it would be the wedding venue, number 2, photography and video, number 3, food and beverage, number 4, entertainment, and styling, decor, florals. Figure this all out with your partner and your families and work out where you can contribute and how they can contribute to your wedding. Number 4, choosing a venue. Now remember, booking a wedding venue is probably going to be the biggest expense for you. If you think about it, a venue must account for the cost of running your event on the day. And that means paying for staff, paying for the operation of the kitchen, paying for the food, the produce and the beverages. Sometimes there's security costs and overall in-house operations of the venue. If you want to book in a regional venue, then you have to think about travel and accommodation for you and your guests. And there are so many other factors to consider. The season in which you are getting married in, restrictions on hiring an external caterer, bump in and bump out times, and accessibility for guests if you have guests who do have disabilities. A mistake many couples make, perhaps they choose their venue before they choose me, before they book me in for their wedding planning. I see that they perhaps miss out on a few details that were outlined in the contract. So it is extremely important that you read your contract over and over again, at least 2 or 3 times. A contract for a wedding venue includes a lot of important information about what you can and cannot do at your event. And there may be other costs for services that you may not have considered at the beginning. So my hot tip is to read it 2 or 3 times to make sure that you are covered for everything. Again and again, I can't repeat it enough, is to read it 2 or 3 times, maybe even 10 times if it needs to get through your head. And then question everything with the venue if that's the case. Send them an email, ask them, what does this line item mean? What can we do here? You've said that we need to pay for the isolation fee for the fire if we're having a Hindu wedding. Step number 5 is choosing your wedding party. First and foremost, decide on who you want to have in your wedding party. Decide on the specific roles. Are you going to have bridesmaids? Are you going to have groomsmen, maid of honor, best man, flower girls? Don't feel obliged to pick people. Rather think about who is most important to you. Who do you want to be surrounded by on the day? Is it your close family, your cousin, your sibling? Who are those really important people that are going to make the day special for you? Number 6, researching and booking in your wedding vendors. Choosing the right wedding vendors is crucial to ensuring that your wedding goes smoothly and meets your expectations. Now, I could spend hours and hours running through how to research wedding vendors, but for the purpose of this video, and I don't want it to be too long, of course, I might share this in another video, and let me know in the comments if you would like to see that. But for now, some things which can perhaps help you make informed decisions when choosing your wedding vendors are budget, style and preference, references and reviews. Those Google reviews, and read every single one of them, please, if you can. Services, understanding what exactly that vendor provides. The know, like, and trust vendors. Speak to your vendors. Get to know them on a personal level. If they offer free consultations, do it. And then paperwork, paperwork, paperwork. I cannot stress this one enough. Please do not communicate with vendors via WhatsApp or via Instagram DM. Secretly, they hate it. I advise that you stick to email. One mistake I see some couples make is that they book in their vendors last minute, and that is a huge no. Number 7, planning your ceremony and wedding reception. The reason why I want you to begin on these 2 events is because they are quite involved. It's really important to nail these 2 events. So you've locked in your venue, you've done the vendor research, you've set your budget. Now you can start to work on breaking down all the tasks involved for planning your ceremony and your reception. Number 8 is planning your pre-wedding events. As you know, most Indian, South Asian, multicultural, interracial couples have multi-day weddings, sometimes going 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, sometimes even lasting a week. So that includes like your henna party, your walima. These are smaller events and do require a lot of attention from focus too, but perhaps you're probably going to invite a lot less people for these events, so that's okay. I still want you to focus on really nailing the details for these events as well. Number 9, sending your wedding invitations. Sending your wedding invitations and collecting RSVPs can be quite a lengthy process. Give yourself ample time. So for a local wedding, that would mean sending out invitations at least 2 to 3 months in advance. And then of course you can send your save the dates at the very beginning, so at least they know that, okay, a wedding is coming up. Finally, setting the wedding timeline. Start early. It should include every possible detail. This timeline must be shared with your vendors in advance. I cannot stress how important it is to send this out to your vendors and your venue as well. My second last hot tip is to ask for advice from your venues and your vendors. You'd be surprised at how willing they are to help you out with giving you some guidance on how to plan out that timeline. Now, I have one last final bonus tip for you, and that is simply to enjoy yourself. I know that things like money can sometimes be a burden, but you don't get to do this every single day. Before you know it, you are married. Was this a topic that you loved? Please let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate some love on my first video back in a couple of years. If you would like to see more videos like this, please don't forget to subscribe and like, share with your family and your friends. Remember, this is the only channel to be on if you are planning a South Asian, Indian, or multicultural wedding. I really look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you so much for your time. Bye for now.